as well. What I've noticed is like this type of question. I saw this from 2017 exam paper, and I've kind of seen it in quite a few years. So this ends up being a merit question. What I'd like you guys to do is I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes just to have a look at it and try it and see how much you're going to get through this question, all right? And then I'm going to go through the full worked answers and also tips on how to use the calculator for this type of question, because this question ends up being like a merit question and it's worth about 5 points. Sorry, I'll go back to it. There you go. The biggest mistake I've seen people do is they put the, you know how this is, it says z equals -2 minus I as a factor, as a solution, sorry. That means when you substitute z into all of those little z's there, all right, that equation is equal to 0. So what you really need to be doing is this. So you got -2 minus I to the power of 3 minus 2 times -2 minus I squared plus b times -2 minus I minus 30 equals to 0. Now, guys, you got to realize this. You got to be a little bit more smart about this. Rather than sitting there trying to expand this bracket, don't waste time, okay? Because remember, you only got like an hour for this 1 hour for this paper, and in that 1 hour, you only got 20 minutes for each block of question. That means a merit question should really take you about roughly 2 to 3 minutes. All right, so you don't want to be sitting there expanding this out, and that's why you need to have a graphics calculator. Because what I will show you guys is this. Go into your run menu, all right, and this is the important part. If you want to make things really quick for you, then I would just go -2 minus I, all right, and I put that equals. Then what happens is the answer function in the calculator will now have the value of -2 minus I. So if I go press shift answer and equals, I'm going to get -2 minus I. So using this, I'm going to work out the first 2 parts of the equation. So my first part of the equation right here is -2 minus I cubed. So I'm going to go shift answer to the power of 3 minus 2 times the answer. And I'm also going to do minus 30 as well, since I'm here. I've stuffed up, haven't I? What have I made a mistake here with? Sorry, where? Yeah, I forgot the squared there. Okay, now the problem is this. So what you naturally tend to do is, you probably go shift answer again. Don't do that. Because the problem is, because remember, answer is like, it stores the very last answer. So if I click on answer now, it's actually changed to -28 minus 9i. So if you make a mistake, go back and you got to do the whole process again. So I got to go -2 minus I and put that as -2 minus I. Then I go shift answer cubed minus 2 times answer squared, which no one told me, and then minus 30. Now I got -38 minus 19i. So this is basically, I've got this, this, and these 3 things equal -38 minus 19i. Are we okay with that? So what I can then do is I can write this like this. So b times -2 minus I minus 38 minus 19i is equal to 0. Now it's a matter of rearranging. So I rearrange this as, I don't expand the brackets with the b and -2 minus I, just leave it as it is. But I take the 38 plus 19i to the other side. So when I do this, I can then say b is equal to 38 plus 19i divided by -2 minus I. Now again, at this part here, so even this part here, you know, normally what you would do is you would actually multiply by the conjugate base to actually solve this, right? So you'd actually end up doing something like this. You'd go times negative 2 plus I, negative 2 plus I, and then, calculate it. Sorry, that's just going to take, again, don't waste time with that. What you can do is take this part, entire part here. Again, just use the graphics calculator. So here I've got, make sure you put a bracket. So you got 38 plus 19I divided by minus 2 minus I. Okay, so you should get B is equal to negative 19. I think that's pretty straightforward, isn't it? This doing something like this. When you ever get a question where it says one solution to this equation is this, find the other, find the solution, or find the letter, and then find the other two solutions. Now, this part gets you an achieved, I believed. So there you go. If you actually end up showing that B is equal to negative 19, that's actually an achieved right there. But I'm going to show you guys how to do the other part as well. But again, I'm going to show you with a couple of little tricks first. The first thing you can do is this. If you want to check whether this B is correct or not, what you can do is you can go back to your graphics calculator and go into equation. All right, and then there's a thing called Polynomial Solver. You click on that and chuck in degree 3. Now this is where you see like ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. It's the same format here as z cubed minus 2z plus bz minus 30, blah, blah, blah. So what you can do is you can put those values in. So z cube's coefficient is 1. Then z squared is minus 2. B, you just found out B to be negative 19. And D, that's the value D here, that's negative 30. Now, if you press solve, which is F1 here, oh, sorry, wrong F1. Notice how I'm getting only one solution here. Can you guys see that? Now, that some of you might actually get 3 solutions in your calculator. Is anybody getting 3 solutions in your calculator? No? Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do. Press Shift. Oh, actually, no, just go exit first out of the calculator. But before you get into this mode, try Shift Setup. And if you go down to complex mode, can you guys see that? Change it to A plus BI, so that's F2. And then go back and try solving it again, and you should actually see 3 solutions. Shift Setup. I'll show you again. So go to, when you're in this mode here, click on Shift Setup. Go down to complex mode. You should find something that says complex mode. Change it to A plus BI. And I believe you actually have got all 3 of your solutions right there. Okay? This is a good way to check whether your B value is correct or not. Because if you put the wrong B value in there, so say for example you didn't get negative 19, you got something like 6. Now that's what your solutions are. And you can actually look at your question. In your question it says negative 2 minus I must be a solution. So if you don't get as one of the solutions, then your actual B value is incorrect. So you go back and you actually have to look back at your working. Now in this case, I'm just going to show you guys this. So 6, negative 2 plus I, negative 2 minus I is those 3 answers. Now if you look at the question actually says, find the value of B and the other 2 solutions of the equation. Now in your graphics calculator, you've actually already found the other 2 solutions, haven't you? So now this is the part I'm actually not sure about on how they, when I go back and look at the marking schedule, right? Like in the end here, they say B equals negative 19 and both other solutions correctly given. But they don't actually talk about any kind of working or anything like that. But however, if you look at the actual answers, they've actually shown some working. Now, this is what I would tell you guys. What you can end up doing is this. So notice how that last number is negative 30, right? So we know that one of the solutions is negative 2 minus I, which means our equation is going to look like this. Z minus negative 2 minus I multiplied by Z minus, remember if negative 2 minus I is one solution, then negative 2 plus I is a solution. And then that's multiplied by, I don't know, let's say z minus k, for example. Okay? So what we do know is that this multiplied by this should equal to negative 30. Because remember, that's the constant right there. Negative 30 is the constant. So then we just write this as negative 2 minus I multiplied by negative of negative 2 plus I multiplied by negative k is equal to negative 30. And if you say then negative k is equal to negative 30 divided by negative 2 minus, sorry, I'm just going to write that again, negative 2 minus I multiplied by negative 2 plus I, and I'm going to get negative k is equal to, again, I don't need to do this, I can do this in the calculator, but I'm just showing you guys all the different ways, all right? So go back to my original menu, and I'm going to go negative 30 divided by, what have I got? Negative 2 minus I multiplied by negative 2 plus I, double brackets, and I got negative k equals to negative 6. Therefore, k is equal to 6. Okay? Use the graphics calculator to check that all the answers that you're getting is correct. Okay? Now this question ends up being 5 points because it's a merit question, and I think it's a good chance that this question pops up because I've had a look at it the last few years and it's popped up all the time, this question. Okay, can I give you guys another question very much like that? Similar type, one more question similar like that, and then you guys have a go by yourself, and then let's see how it goes after that. Okay, so this is from 2016, this question. And yes, it's another merit question. So I want you guys to have a go at this to see how far you can actually go with this question, yeah? I'm surprised that this question was actually a merit because all you got to do is actually figure out what B is, but this is what the question was in 2016. So we got 3 minus 4i. So I'm going to substitute 3 minus 4i where z is. So it's z minus 8 times 3 minus 4i squared plus b times, I got 3 minus 4i and then minus 50 equals to 0. So as usual, guys, I'm not going to sit there wasting time on expanding all of this. I'm going to get my graphics calculator and go through from there. So what I've got is, get rid of all of this, 3 minus 4i as the answer, and then answer to the power of 3 minus 8 times answer squared, and I'm going to do minus 50. Is that what you guys got? Looks complicated, but anyway, let's try it out. Negative 111 plus 148. So I've got b multiplied by 3 minus 4i minus 111 plus 148i equals to 0. So rearrange it. So I've got b equals 3 minus 4i equals 111 minus 148i, and then b is equal to 111 minus 148i divided by 3 minus 4i. And I think it's like, it kind of makes, what is it? It's going to be 48, 74, 37, is it? So I've got 111 minus 148i divided by 3 minus 4i. Okay, I've got b is equal to 37. Let's have a look at the answers. And what does it say for the answers? Yeah, see, they've done it a slightly different way. They've actually gone with well, yeah, that's pretty much what the question's asking, because it says one solution. Yeah, basically it's it. They've just done it using a different method. Because if you look at the final part here, it just says correct solution of b equals 37. What they did was like they actually worked out the two, like they used the factors and then they worked it out using that. But we kind of just substituted it equal to 0 and solved it as well. So that's fine as well. One more question like this, or you guys got this sussed out? One more from 2015. All right, guys. So this one's from 2015. Now this is a little bit more different than what you're used to. So have a go with this one. So, because what they've got is the a value should have been 2, but then most of you guys did it. Once you found the a value, you put it in the graphics calculator in the polynomial function, and you got the answer right here at the bottom. Am I correct? Okay. So just for those guys that are not here, I'm going to show it real quickly. So we got w equals -2. So 3 times -2 cubed plus a times -2 squared minus 3 times -2 plus 10 equals to 0. Did you guys sort out your issue?
Yeah.
What was the mistake you guys made?
I didn't put 3 in front of the -2 squared. I mean -2.
Oh, right. So that becomes -24 plus 4a plus 6 plus 10 equals to 0. So then 4a is equal minus 8 is equal to 0. So a is equal to 2. Now, at this point, I guess all of you guys were comfortable enough to do this. So you went in, you chucked on menu, equation, polynomial, degree 3, and what did you have? 3, a was 2, -3, +10. Okay, so that's great. You've got your answers from there, right? Now looking at the answers from the exam, like I don't know if you just put the answers there, would they give you that as a merit? Okay, I'm just being mindful of it. But how do you actually get to this this format here? So what I would do is this. See, I know that w minus 2 is a solution. If w minus 2 is a solution, then w plus 2 is actually a factor. Yeah? So then what we can say is we can actually write this as w plus 2 multiplied by a quadratic, which is going to equal 3w cubed plus 2w squared minus 3w plus 10. Do you guys agree with that? Okay, so what we know is it's a quadratic. So if it's a quadratic, we know that this is going to be w squared, and then you're going to have w in there. And it's going to have a final term at the end as well. All right. Now what I do know is if I look at this, 2 multiplied by this number should equal to 10. Yeah. So in this case, I can actually straight away put this as +5, can't I? Then the next thing is I know that w times that w squared is going to be 3w cubed. So that means the w squared is going to have a coefficient of 3 in it. Is that okay? Yeah, everybody happy with that? What I've done there? Now we've got to figure out what the w is. Now the w, let me choose a different color. Rainbow color? No. What do I need to find out? I need to find out this thing, right? This term here. So you got w times w squared. There's 2 ways you can do this. W times this plus 2 times 3w squared should equal to 2w squared. Do you guys agree with that? Because that's all the coefficients of w squared that I've actually combined. Let's just say I'm going to put this as k for now, because I don't know what, I really don't like this color. Let's say I'm going to put this as k. So what I then have is k w squared plus 6w squared equals 2w squared. Can you guys see what I've done there? So then k has to equal, because I can get rid of all the w squareds, then I've got k equals 2 minus 6. So k is equal to negative 4. So in other words, what I have is w plus 2 multiplied by 3w squared minus 4w plus 5. That's the other factor. Now this factor, if I go back to that quadratic, I can put it in a quadratic formula and get it into that nice answer right here at the bottom there. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is you could have actually done long division. Okay, because we know that w plus 2 is a factor. We also know that this final answer is going to be 3w cubed plus 2w squared minus 3w plus 10. So I can do this by long division. How many of you are comfortable with long division here? Okay, if you're comfortable with long division, I'm going to show you two different ways of doing long division as well, because I've been playing around with this idea. So the first concept here is that I'm going to go, I've got 3w cubed to get rid of, so it's 3w squared. So 3w cubed plus 6w squared, and then that's going to be 2 minus 6, which is minus 4w cubed squared, sorry, minus 3w. So I got to get rid of the negative 4w. It's going to be negative 4w, which is negative 4w squared minus 8w. Then I've got negative 3 minus 8, which plus 8, which is 5w plus 10 plus 5. All right, so that's another way that I could actually find the factor. Now there's one more way I'm going to show you guys in terms of long division, but just, and I know people have done synthetic division, I'm not going to bother with it, but I will show you another way you can also do this. This one is a little bit cheeky of how to do this, but it still works. Okay, what I do is instead of writing w and plus 2, I just write it as 1w. So I'm just writing the coefficients, 1 and then 2, 3, positive 2, minus 3, whoa, positive 10. Okay, I'm not looking at the w squared or w cubed, I'm just writing the coefficients of them. So I know that I need to get rid of this 3 here, so I'm going to multiply this by 3. So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is plus 6, and then 2 minus 6 is negative 4. Can you guys see what I'm trying to do there? And then I've got to get rid of negative 4 times 1, so it's negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times plus 2 is negative 8. But of course I've got to bring that negative 3 down. The 4's disappear. Minus 3 minus minus 8 is 5. And plus 10. So here I got to multiply by 5. So 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. And I'm left with 0. So I've got the coefficients there, which is 3, negative 4, and positive 5. All right, once you get this, you can actually put that in the quadratic formula to get your answers in a really nice way. Now, the reason I'm showing you guys this is because, like I told you guys, just spitting out the answers from graphics calculators, I don't know if it's going to get you a merit. But if you show the working, some sort of understanding, then at least you can be a little bit more confident, all right, rather than just spitting out answers from the graphics calculator. All right, so this is from 2014, guys. Similar style of question. Okay, so for this question, we've got 2 minus 3i. We're going to substitute it into w. So we're going to have 3 times 2 minus 3i cubed minus 14. Get rid of all these wires. 14, 2 minus 3i squared plus a times 2 minus 3i minus 26 equals to 0. So as usual, guys, not going to bother actually expanding all the brackets out. Whoa, that was not meant to happen. Let's get rid of that. Damn it, why is that happening? There we go. So what I got, 2 minus 3i. I'm going to put that as my answer, and then I've got 3 multiplied by answer to the 3 times answer to the power of 3. That's minus 14 times answer squared minus 26. So when I do that, that's what I'm getting. I hope that's correct. Okay, let's try it out anyway. So I've got a 2 minus 3i. I got minus 26. Yeah, I did. And then minus 94 and 141. So minus 94 plus 141 I equals to 0. So then a times 2 minus 3i equals 94 plus 141i. And then a equals 94 plus 141i divided by 2 minus 3i. So a is equal to 47. Okay, so we've got one of the solutions. One of the solutions is 2 minus 3i. But so remember that old trick that I talked to you guys about. So we've got w minus 2 minus 3i multiplied by w minus 2 plus 3i. And then multiplied by w minus k equals to that whole long equation, which is 3w cubed minus 14w squared plus 47w minus 26. Now here's the thing. In this question though, you've got to look at the coefficient of w cubed because that's equal to 3. So you got w there. These two w's are going to be w's by themselves. But in this case, that's going to be 3 because your coefficient has to equal 3w cubed. So what ends up happening is that you've got negative 2 minus 3i multiplied by negative 2 plus 3i multiplied by negative k equals to negative 26. So when you do this, you end up with k is equal to positive 2. But that's not your solution. So you've got to go back to this factor, which is 3w minus k. So you got to go 3w minus 2 is a factor. Put that equals to 0. Then you're going to get 3w equals to 2 and w equals to 2/3. So your three solutions are 2/3, 2 minus 3i, and 2 plus 3i. Now to prove this, I'm going to go into my calculator function again. And I'm going to show you guys that that's what my three answers are. So go into menu. Go into equation, polynomial degree 3, and I've got 3 minus 14, 47, and minus 26. And again, you can see that 0.667, which is 2/3, is one of those solutions. Sorry, I forgot. Every time I restart my calculator, I've got to set it to complex mode. But I think if you have a graphics calculator set in that mode, then you should get all three answers. So yeah, this question comes in 2013 as well, guys. I'm not going to do that question right now with you, but yeah, you can feel free to go home, go and try it yourselves. Cool, that's it.